Hey y'all, Diggy here. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Welcome back to all returning subscribers, and if you're new, please take a seat, stay a while. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and also click the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So this video right here is going to be about the fact that you don't need a leader, okay? Because everything you really need is inside of you. You are the person who's making all the rules. You're the person who's deciding the outcomes of everything. So if that's something that you're interested in, which you most likely are interested in it since you're watching this right now, but whatever, if you're interested, stay tuned for more. So we're basically entering into the age of Aquarius, or we've entered into, we're just transitioning, and that's a lot of astrology mumbo jumbo. People would consider it to be woo, whatever. I just said a lot of gibberish, but if you understand what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying. One thing about this time period, like let's say like the next 2,000 years or so, basically we're going to see the rise of the individual and how that plays into a collective consciousness. And that's something that I'm definitely excited for, because if you really look at how history has, you know, basically gone on, you can tell that society has conditioned humans to always kind of look for a leader. And that's cool because, you know, usually the leader is someone who has a particular area of expertise and they're able to give that information in a way that empowers other people. But over time, it's like our innate desire to find a leader is simply because we don't want to have the responsibility of owning our own decisions. So we'll look for a leader to tell us what it is that we're supposed to do. We'll look for a leader in order to place blame on them if things go wrong, because we're afraid of responsibility as a whole. And when you start consciously manifesting, you really start to notice just how much you don't really need anything on the outside telling you what it is that you should be doing, especially if you believe in the concept of everyone is you pushed out. That person that you're looking to is merely a reflection of something that you think already. So one thing that I will always champion on this channel is ownership, complete ownership of your mind, body, and soul. Because at the end of the day, it's literally just you navigating throughout this life. Unfortunately, we lose friends and family members. We lose jobs and material possessions, and we lose a lot of things. But the one thing that we basically cannot ever lose, even if we want to, is ourself. Even if we feel like we've lost the type of person that we used to be, we still have the essence of who we are with us, and we have to deal with that every single day until the day we die. Well, at least until the day we die in this human form. I don't claim to officially know what happens after that or what happened before that. I don't know, but I do know that, like, when we're here, it is our duty to accept responsibility. And yes, that can be scary, but once you get in the habit of making your own decisions and simply deciding, there's so much power in that. Power in claiming responsibility over your emotional state, over your actions, over your focus and your intentions. You're not easily swayed by what's going on outside. You know, things can't really rattle you too much because it's like, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to follow, you know, the things that I feel are what's best for me and those around me that are depending on me. Now, this isn't to say, you know, you have to be arrogant or anything like that. Like, I would never tell you to force your opinion on other people, but even if it's time for you to take advice, ultimately you're the one still deciding whether or not you're going to do what it is that the external person, you know, suggested to you. You ask somebody a question like, should I get chocolate or vanilla? you hate chocolate or you hate vanilla. If that person says either or, ultimately you have to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, either take the advice or not. So I just want everybody to understand what I'm saying when I say you don't need a leader. Even on YouTube, you know, people watch all these gurus, and at first your intentions might simply be to, you know, just get the information that this person is conveying and to learn as much from them as possible. But because, you know, we fall in love with personality a lot more than we fall in love with, you know, information, and that is a very slippery slope because we are all human. So certain things that people do that are being regarded as leaders might not really bode too well for the masses that they influence. But when you remember that every person makes their own decisions, it can be a little easier to step back and say, okay, well, I don't necessarily have to be attached to this person as much as I can, you know, absorb what it is that they're saying, independent of who they are. You know what I'm saying? So when we get attached to people, we kind of lose the essence of our own individual ideas because we're trying to mimic what it is that we see them doing when we really don't actually know what's going on behind the scenes aside from what it is that we're shown. Even if it's somebody that you know, like your parents, or like just somebody that you're really close to, that you spend a majority of your time with, you'll still never know 100% what it is that they have going on because you're not staring at a person 24 hours a day. Or at least I hope you're not. That would be a little kind of weird. But yeah, this is just, you know, me encouraging you and letting you know that you actually don't need a leader. You are the leader that you're looking for, because to be honest, like I said, if you believe in the concept of everyone is you pushed out, everybody is already mimicking and mirroring what it is that you believe anyway, which is why there's that phrase, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I believe that that's because, you know, when you get to that point where you're able to when you're in that receptive mode of a particular type of information, you know, that's basically reflected in those who approach you to give you said information. So everybody that's actually watching this, y'all are ready to hear what it is that I have to say, and so I got inspired to make this video. It's basically like a give and take. We're basically connected because I'm you pushed out and you're me pushed out. When I'm ready to convey a message, the audience will appear. When you're ready to hear a message, the person, you know, the speaker will appear. But ultimately that goes back down to ownership and you being responsible for what it is that you're able to accept and what it is that you're willing to digest. Just long story short, you got this. Don't, you know, feel too crazy when you see things happening around you and you're like, oh, well, who can I go to? Like, start taking the time to ask yourself questions, like literally, like I do. I ask myself questions out loud, and I'll ask myself questions, you know, internally, and I'll wait for the answer because I genuinely believe that I know, you know, what needs to be done, and if anything extra needs to be given to me in order for me to complete a goal, I believe that I will be led to that particular thing, or it will come to me. So we want to get in the habit of being a little bit more self-oriented and self-focused, not necessarily in a conceited way, but then again, society has an idea of conceit that I don't 100% agree with. Like, as soon as you choose yourself over something else, it's like, oh, how dare you, you're selfish. Like, no, I can't help you if I'm not, you know, being taken care of, but whatever. So yeah, you don't need a leader. Claim ownership over your ideas, over your mentality, over your mindset, over your emotions, over everything that you have internally, because that perspective literally affects how you receive the world. And it's so important that how you receive the world is a reflection of how you genuinely feel inside, and not necessarily something that was implanted into you by conversations of your friends or your parents or what's going on in your environment. So that's my video for today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and if you have any comments, questions, or video ideas or anything like that, please be sure to leave it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.